What do you say to guys who and I don't know if Bubba Watson's the best example because I don't have like encyclopedic knowledge of PGA golfers, but I have heard him say basically that he just plays and he doesn't care about any type of, math, or he doesn't care about any swing advice. He just out there and he's just a player. What do you say to someone like that?
It's true. And what I would say to him is he didn't know for a couple of years that I've worked with his caddy, Ted Scott, on target selection. And so Ted will give him just a spot, and then Bubba goes and does whatever it is he does. And I've worked with Ted for, probably, I really don't remember how long, but a couple of years, where he's getting my packets about the courses on a weekly basis. So Ted understands what's going on. And then he and Bubba will just talk an ending point, and then it's like, Bubba, you figure out how to get there. Ted finally kind of started fishing out to him what he's been working on over the course of this year, and I went down and played a practice round with him at Bay Hill, or just walked a practice round, didn't play, obviously. But we get on 10, which is a big dog leg right, and to be perfectly honest, like I talk about with the driver specifically, you can only hit it one shape. A fade or a draw, I don't care which one, but trying to work that club both ways is a really bad idea. And Bubba has always been like a thorn in my side when people are like, Bubba works it all over the place. I'm like, yeah, he's a unicorn. I just can't quite explain that. And so we get out to number 10, which is a pretty sharp dog leg right. And he's like, all right, nerd, what do we do here? And I'm like, I just want to kind of settle in and just watch you a little bit. You tell me what you do. And he's like, I started about 70 yards right of those houses, and I hit a 70-yard cut back into the fairway. I'm like, you don't just sling a draw out there? And he's like, I haven't tried to draw my driver in 10 years. And I'm like, there you go, that makes sense. Here's an anomaly that I couldn't explain, but he actually plays, like I say, with like perfect decade strategy, but you just can't work the driver both ways. It's one of the main reasons I think that Tiger gets himself in trouble with the driver. He tries to work it both ways too much. And, the driver's the longest club in the bag with the flattest face being swung the fastest. And to make it fade versus draw, you're altering the face path relationship by 6 degrees. Like it's a really hard and largely unnecessary skill. I fade 100% of my shots, and I can just take a 3-wood and move it back in my stance, which, without getting too technical, automatically kind of kicks the path to the right, which will help me hit a draw. So if I come up on a dog leg left, number 10 at Augusta, I can roast a drawing 3-wood with kind of my same swing, but there's no chance I could turn a driver over without double crossing it, which would be, if I'm trying to hit a draw, a double cross is when you accidentally fade it. Which in 2019, if you think about the Masters final round, Tiger's trying to sling a draw around there and he double crosses it right into that bush and wound up having to just chip out in the fairway. He should just be playing a roasty, drawy 3-wood, and it's just where he gets himself in a lot of trouble for a skill it's largely unnecessary. I mean, it'd be cool to be able to work it both ways, but it's just really not necessary for the most part.
Right.
DeChambeau's another perfect example of that, though. At Winged Foot, the only bad drives he hit all week were on number 2 and 8, which were dogleg rights, which is where he should just be hitting a 3-wood to the corner because he can't cut the hammered driver. And so, it's we're even at that level. Like, those were a little bit of bad decisions. After the PGA Championship, I told Como going in there, like, he needs to be hitting driver basically everywhere. He dropped back to 3-wood a little too much, and we had some conversations about that. And then he kind of took it to the other extreme and hit it too often at the U.S. Open, where the holes, again, where he shouldn't be hitting driver. But it's just playing just with perfect discipline and patience, like, again, those words. It's just a really hard thing to do. I do believe that's the main reason Tiger was light years better than everyone. Obviously, he's really good physically.
Right.
But the ability to just plod along, I mean, it's so hard to do.